International school fees in Canada are way too high. A lot of people keep on saying that, oh, Canada international fees are lower than the United States. And I beg to differ. That is not true. It depends on what exactly you are coming to Canada to study. So let's get into this video and talk about the fees, the international school fees in Canada. Let's be honest. Canada says it needs people, but why are the international school fees so high if you actually need people? Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am your girl Kayon Aldria. If you're new to my channel, I make content over here about life in Canada, mostly sit down videos for now. So subscribe, stay tuned, especially if you are living in Canada or planning on moving to Canada. Hit that like button. Let's get into this video. Canada keeps on saying it needs people, right? And one such pathway everybody knows that tends to be sure is the international school pathway. But the truth is, this can be and is quite expensive, especially if you are someone like me who already have a bachelor's degree and you're coming here to do a master's or a graduate college diploma, whatever it is. I don't know about you, but I definitely weighed my options when I was selecting the school. When I started to think about migration, you know, the opportunities are there for England, America, and Canada. But somehow Canada kept on coming back because it was so much on my YouTube, it was so much in my face and in the media that, oh, Canada needs people, or after you study in Canada, you have a better pathway to become permanent resident. We all know all the other benefits that's advertised to us, right? But one such thing that is advertised to us is that, oh, the school fees are cheaper than the United States. I can tell you right off the bat, rubbish. That is not true. And I realized this when I was doing my research, when I was looking in master's program in the United States compared to Canada. So at the end of the day, my consensus was this: if I was really going for education purposes, I would have chosen the United States. Why? Because I found a lot of master's programs that were like $10,000, $12,000 US per year, compared to Canada, who had a lot of master's program for international students for $20,000 and more per year. When I thought about masters in my field, which is engineering, if you don't know, the cheapest schools I could have found were in Newfoundland for masters in electrical engineering. Memorial University in Newfoundland, if you don't know, it is one of the cheapest schools in Canada for international students, but it is also one of the colder provinces. And I'm coming from Jamaica. I didn't want to go to somewhere where I know I do not like cold. But when you compare right across the provinces in Canada compared to the options that I had in the United States, there were cheaper schools in the US for a master's program with a good title, with like a master's in engineering, a master's in project management, a master's in business, or a master's in computing. There were more affordable schools in the United States. You can look and come back, but that's just the truth. The fees in Canada for international students, especially if you want to do a master's, they are high. I realized that even graduate diploma, a little certificate, costs more to study in Canada than it does in the United States. The fees were high and I accepted that. You wanna know why I accepted? Because I knew what I was paying for. When it comes to a master's program, you can get better opportunities or options to study in the United States. However, Canada does want people, and the pathway after studying here in Canada is more secure. Yes, I was told of the fact that after doing a master's in the United States, you do have a better chance to become a permanent resident or a green card holder at a master's level. I just did not want to take that risk because I'm like, you know what? I'll go to Canada, pay more money, yes, but this pathway is sure. It's surer. You know what you're doing with this pathway. Still a chance, but you have a pathway. I saw a video recently, people protesting about international school fees in Canada. And while I looked at it, I laughed because I was like, yes, the international school fees in Canada are high, but you knew what you were getting into before you come here. Why would you be protesting? How does that make sense? I posted this video on YouTube Shorts. I posted it on TikTok and it went viral. Y'all had something to say. This is my view. One, as an international student myself, I knew what I was getting into. So I know it is high. It is higher than the US. But you will not see me out there protesting because I did write on my application to say I can afford my school fees. I honestly think everybody who is out there protesting, they should just pack them up and send them back to their home country because it's obvious that you can't afford it and you would have lied in your application. Am I being harsh? Let me know if I'm being harsh in the comments. Because the truth is, if you're going to come here now and protest to say you pay taxes, the thing is, you've just been here maybe a year or two. People have been here paying taxes for 10, 15 years. They would have paid way more than you. Your little taxes doesn't count. Besides, you can file your tax return and get back some of it. I think it's really stupid to be protesting about international school fees. I don't know. I think it is. What do you think? Do you think it is stupid? I think it is stupid. If you couldn't afford it, why didn't you go to another country? Like I said, why did you come here? You knew what you were signing up for. International school fee is high in any country. Every country have an international school fee price and it is high in any country. Studying internationally is not a right. It is a privilege. I know exactly what I'm paying for and what I'm getting in return. Yes, there's good and bad in the process, but every journey in life, there's good and bad. Canada wants people. They did not lie when they said they wanted people. But what Canada really wants is people in some high demand jobs. For example, nursing in the healthcare industry. That's the top of their list. And if you look at it, the government in Canada recently just had a release that they are going to do the pay and stay. There's this program in Ontario where learn and stay, I think, or something like that, right? And they recently announced that they're going to be continuing that program for healthcare workers. So they'll pay for your school fee, and every year, every 6 months of the year that you would have taken that scholarship, you have to give that back in working in Ontario. And they want it especially for the rural areas. So yes, they did not lie about them needing people. They do need people. But then again, let's look at it. They need people, but who do they need? For that program, it is only for persons who are Canadian citizens or permanent residents. It's not for international students. It's not for international students who want to come to Canada and study free. No, it's not free. You gotta pay. So there again, you see, yes, Canada wants people, but Canada want your money for their economy to run, and that's okay. We understand it. At the end of the day, it's business. Studying international, like I said, is not a right, it's a privilege. We've seen also where Canada wants people in the healthcare sector, and even in British Columbia recently, the government of British Columbia waived the fees associated with international nurses being registered here. So it's obvious then that what Canada wants for persons who are here and internationally educated nurses, they're going to pay for those fees here in British Columbia. And from time to time, you see New Brunswick, they have, even right now going on again, I always tell you guys, if you're a healthcare worker, they have a job fair going on right now. Yes, they need people. And if you're in the healthcare industry, you can come to Canada free because Canada wants people. But as an international student, you want the right to come here to study whatever it is that you want to study, then you have to pay. That just makes sense, right? So that's my opinion. I think their protesting is just stupid and foolish because you said you could afford it. If a Canadian resident should go to your country, like for example, even for me, Jamaica, if a Canadian resident should go to Jamaica, they have to pay international fees in Jamaica. They are not exempted from paying international fees. So I don't understand why you come to Canada and want to come and ask for a discount. In which life? Are you a permanent resident of Canada? No. Then you gotta pay international fees. Fair is fair. You knew what you were getting into. If you disagree, like tell me, why on earth do you think you should pay less? Let me know in the comment section because I can't wrap my mind around it. You see the prices for education before coming here. You applied, you signed up to say you're okay with paying these fees. The government of Canada asks you to pay a year in advance, right? I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys. Do you think they are crazy, or do you think the fees are high? Remember, I do say the fees are high, but I know why they are high. And I always encourage people, pick a program, pick something that you can afford. There are so many options. Even for me, when I wanted to do a master's in engineering or a master's in something else, I could go to Newfoundland and pay cheaper, but I didn't want to go in the cold. But if it's the case that you can't afford to pay the high fees in the warm weather areas, then you might have to sacrifice going in the cold. Are you ready and prepared to do that? Remember, for growth, you gotta be willing to be uncomfortable. So let me know what you think. Do you really think the fees are high? See you in the next video. Bye.